Welcome back to Michael Corrin's show. My name's guest was on the show a couple of years ago, I suppose, Father Zakaria Boutros. Father Zakaria Boutros, you may not be aware of him. He's known to be the most wanted man in the Islamic world. There is a bounty on his head. So welcome to the show, I think.
Thank you.
There are people offering money
Yes.
for you to be killed.
That's right, yeah.
Do you know how much money?
I read about that. About $60 million.
$60 million?
Yes.
They didn't contact me. I shouldn't joke about such issues. Why are you the most wanted man in the Muslim world?
Because they say I'm the enemy number one of Islam. Because I expose Islam as it is. I read the books of Islam and expose it in front of the people. We have a TV show weekly on Fridays, and I read from their books and I ask, is this your Islam? Islam of terrorism, as it says in the verses of Quran and the hadith of Muhammad? Is that the Quran to kill Christians and Jews? Is that your religion? So, many questions like that. I have 5 main questions.
Before, you're a Christian priest?
Yes.
From
Egypt.
From Egypt. Are you allowed to go back to Egypt?
I hope that I won't, and they want that.
They won't let you?
They want me to be there in order to accomplish their mission.
So you live in exile in the United States?
Somewhere on the global earth.
Okay. You can't be specific. We have many Muslims on the show, and some believe, some don't, but those who believe will say there are passages in the Quran that are open to interpretation, and ignorant people will interpret them incorrectly.
Yes.
They will say the same is possible of the Old Testament, but Islam is a religion of peace.
Yes. When I explain the Quran, I don't explain it myself. I go back to their books, the interpretation books of the leaders and sheikhs of Islam, and to read the interpretation from it. But when they compare between the God and the war in the Old Testament and war in the Quran, I say that, first of all, war in the Old Testament was not for preaching the Judaism, the religion. It's not. Islam is. Second thing, wars in the Old Testament is not invading other countries. Islam invades other countries. So the war in the Old Testament is very different than the war in Islam. Totally different. You see, in the Old Testament it is a government and a religion. So the government should kill people who go astray and against the government. But when Jesus came, completed the vision of religion and separated between state and religion. State is a state, which is with its laws, but religion is a religion of peace. But Islam came back and combined between state and religion and encouraged people to kill, not only the government. And it's a verse in the Quran, encourage the Muslims to kill people who do not believe in Quran and Muhammad.
There are hundreds of millions of Muslims, and the vast majority don't try to kill people who don't believe in their religion.
Yeah. Look, there are some people who do not believe in their religion, yes, and there are some Muslims who are moderate Muslims. I don't deny that. There are many people who are moderate people, but they are not true Muslims. If they follow the commandments of the Quran and the hadith of Muhammad, they will become true Muslims like Bin Laden, terrorists. But the moderate people are wanted too by the fundamentalists. They believe that they are against Islam. They are not Muslims. They should be killed too.
Yet there are many moderate Muslims who are putting their lives at risk as soldiers, fighting fundamentalism.
Yes.
Also, for a longest period, the early medieval world, Islam did rule parts of Europe, and it was tolerant. The Ottoman Empire was no worse than any Christian empire.
I don't compare between religions, between the people of religions. I compare between the books of the religion. I compare between Quran and the New Testament, the Bible. What are the commandments here and what are the commandments there? But people are different. They apply the commandments or not. You know, so I don't compare between people. I compare between books of the religions. So all the commandments in the New Testament are for peace and love. No word for killing. But when you read the Quran, you will find, or Quran and Hadith, you will find 53,000 and 213 verses and the Hadith is speaking about killing. So we compare.
If a Christian or anyone in Canada wishes to become a Muslim, they can. They're allowed to, and some do. If a Muslim, say in your country, in Egypt, if a Muslim wanted to become a Christian, would they be allowed to?
A Muslim become Christian, yes, it's allowed and welcomed.
So,
but on Christian to become Muslim is prevented.
No. So if a Muslim wants to become a Christian, to leave Islam...
Oh, no, it's prevented, prohibited at all, no. But Christian to become Muslim, okay, it's welcome. But Muslim to become Christian, then he will be killed.
Is that the teaching of Islam, or is that some Muslims who are simply acting intolerantly?
There are verses from the Quran and the Hadith telling to kill any person who go astray from Quran, from Islam. Hadith, kill those who go astray from Islam. But moderate Muslims now say, no, it does not say that. It does not mean that. Want to make Islam with a good face. You know that Islam has two faces? Two faces. Meccan face and the Medina face. The first stage of Islam, all the verses of the Quran about peace and love. Because Muhammad was weak. Muslims were weak. They were about 70% only for 10 years. But when he moved to Medina, everything was changed. He became a military leader, stronger. And then he killed people who do not believe in Islam. So, and he cancelled all the verses of Mecca, which is they call abrogation. Mm-hmm. Abrogated verses. Deleted all the verses of peace and spoke about the war verses. War verses.
I understand the difference between a book, a holy text, and people who follow that book. But if we look at history, and many Muslims are watching now, and I know they'll be very upset with what you're saying, but you have that right to speak in this country.
Of course.
In the late 15th century, for example, Spain expelled most of its Jewish citizens who had been there for hundreds of years. They could either convert or leave. They left, and many, probably most of them, went to the Muslim world, where to a very large extent they were welcomed. And many of them went on to become political leaders, and there was some persecution, but generally they faced a much more tolerant society. Catholic Spain inspired by the Bible, and the Muslim Middle East, Near East, inspired by the Quran.
Yes.
By their fruits we shall know them.
Yeah. The Muslim world was to be an empire. And it succeeded in that in the Middle East and in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Succeeded to become a big empire. This is the main or ultimate intention of Islam, to be an empire. And religion is just a factor to establish this empire, to establish government, to establish state. But if we discuss the religion itself, what is the new thing that Islam spoke about as a new religion differs from Christianity and Jews?
Okay, when we come back, I'll ask you that question specifically. In just a few moments and some wonderful commercials and stuff on the corridor. Father Zachariah Boutros, Coptic, Orthodox priest and Egyptian, cannot go back to Egypt, lives in exile, can't be too specific where he actually lives. There is a bounty on his head, $60 million. It's like the lottery, it seems to go up every now and again. We laugh because what else can we do in reaction to this? He's meant to be the most wanted man in the Islamic world. Before the break, you mentioned the difference between Islam. What are the difference? What did Islam bring that was new? When the Pope asked this question, originally asked by a Byzantine emperor many, many years ago, there were mass demonstrations, people were killed, there were threats. What did Islam bring to the world that was new?
Islam did not bring anything new. Islam went back to the Jewish law. An eye for an eye, teeth for teeth, and does not bring anything new. I challenge all the leaders of Islam to bring one thing new. To say, oh yes, Islam came with this doctrine, which Christianity did not bring. I challenge everybody. Let him tell me a single new thing, which Christianity did not mention.
I'm not Muslim, but the argument would be the supreme oneness of God. The Christianity, this would be the Muslim argument, had moved away. The Trinity was moving away from the absolute oneness of God, Muhammad being his final prophet, the great message being given to him.
That's what they say. But oneness of God is in the Bible. Do you believe in one God? Good. You know? We believe in one God, not in three. The Trinity is not three gods. It's one God. It's like a man. I have an existence, I have mind, I have spirit. And I am a man, only single man, with three different elements. Existence, mind, and spirit. What's strange with God? God has an existence, mind, and spirit. And all are in one. So we believe in one God. In the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen.
Let me ask you this, because debating theology, I love it, and it's wonderful. But the point in a secular society is not where we stand on theology, but that we are allowed to stand on theology. We can have this debate. I guarantee you, there will be people writing to broadcast authorities demanding I'm taken off the air, even for having this discussion. We must be allowed to express our opinions, even on religion. We are allowed to, in North America and Europe, Australasia, areas founded on Christian principles. Are we allowed to discuss these issues in the Muslim world? Could we, you and I, have this debate on television in Egypt, Saudi Arabia?
That's what I do, but it is not allowed among Muslims. They have a verse in the Quran. Do not ask about anything. It will not be good for you. It's a verse in the Quran. And when you discuss these things with them, they don't let you to go in this discussion. They take you attacking your book, attacking your beliefs. They don't leave you to discuss whatever you want and to ask them. No. They ask you and not ask it. But on the TV, every Friday, I speak openly about all these things and discuss all these things openly from their books. I have evidences from their books which proves our religion. So I speak about that. And no one, for 6 years till now, we started on the 1st of September in 2003, till now 6 years, no answer from all over the Arab world.
Have you invited, now your show is broadcast into the Islamic world?
Yes, all over the Islamic world.
Have you invited Muslim scholars to come onto your show?
Sure. I invited many of them, but all of them want me to go to their land to discuss that in their country. Why?
Yes, good advice, don't do it.
Why? You know? And one only sheikh from Saudi Arabia, called Ahmed al-Swedi, I hope that he is well, came to our show in Paltalk in the internet and debated with me about the Trinity and the incarnation of Jesus Christ, and it was very excellent. And we have all his talks in our website.
In Arabic?
In Arabic, yes. In Arabic.
So, how many people, you broadcast in Arabic?
Yes.
How many people in the Arab world are watching your show?
100 million
100 million?
100 million all over the Arab world.
That's almost as many as the Michael Corrin show. So am I surprised that there is a bounty on your head? These people who watch the show, surely they're not all opposed to you. They may disagree with you, but they're watching the show, they're interested in what you have to say. They don't want to kill you.
They want.
They do?
Yes. So many people come and say their testimony after they are converted. They say, when we saw you on the TV speaking all these things, we wanted to kill you and planned to kill you. But when we read all things which you spoke about, and we find that you are right, we changed our minds. Now we are believers. We believe in Christ. It's very excellent show. We encourage you.
Tell me, moving aside, well, it's a religious argument, a religious issue, but it's also a social one. Egypt has a large Christian population. Egypt was home to many of the church fathers and the early church. It is now, is it what, 10% Christian?
Yes, about.
I hear terrible, terrible stories. Not in all of the Arab world. I know Christians from Syria and Palestine and Jordan who are not maltreated. But in Egypt in particular, I hear from Christians who tell me the most horrible stories of how they're treated. Yep. Is this true?
Yes, it's true. They killed people and still killing people. El-Kosh, a village in Upper Egypt. All the Christians there were killed. But
when did this happen?
It's in twice. In 1999
yeah.
and in 2000.
So recently, last 10 years.
This is the second time, you know. And there are many countries, when any person go to the church and kill people there, you know, they say, oh, he is mad. Mad and choose the churches and go from church to church to kill. And is mad. Every accident, they say, oh, he is a madman.
Now, in Pakistan, a small Christian community, beautiful people, peaceful. There have been terrible cases of violence against Pakistani Christians. In Turkey, which is meant to be fairly secular, in Turkey, a Catholic priest, a nun was killed, a priest too. Indonesia, which is one of the more modern examples of Islam, young Christian schoolgirls beheaded on their way to school.
And in Iraq?
And in Iraq, Christians, since the war, under Saddam Hussein, the Christians were not so badly treated.
Yes.
But since then, terrible treatment, Christians leaving the country. When in the West, though, we say Christians are being badly treated in the Muslim world, people will argue, not only Muslims, oh, you're being Islamophobic. That isn't true.
Yes.
It is true?
It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. People in the West think that Islam is a religion, so it equals Christianity as a religion. But I want to tell them that Islam is not just a religion. Islam a state and a religion. So, Islam is ideology. Islam wants to prevail the whole world. And 9/11 is not so far from us. This is their ultimate intention.
Many Muslims watching will be so hurt by what you're saying. They don't want to take over the world. They simply want to live their life, be happy and good.
No, those people follow the Meccan Islam because they are weak now. But when they have the upper hand, they will do more than that. And the history of Islam everywhere is known. Everywhere is known. But let me say, and do not insult people in the West, let me say that, if you let me to say. Muslims pretend to be nice people.
Oh, but this is so jarring to Canadian ears.
The Westerns are very naive. They say that they are very peaceful and love people. What are you saying?
Surely most Muslims are peaceful people.
Naive.
You're saying every Muslim is like that?
Look, every true Muslim is like that. A moderate Muslim, contemporary, polite, and moderate. But when the Islam prevails, all of them, they will become true Muslims and follow that strategy. We know them because we live among them 14 centuries. We live among them and they know them very well. But the Western people did not live with them. So they just only see the peaceful way. But one day will come and they will know the truth, but it will be too late. I'm sorry to say that.
Father Zachariah Boutros, thank you so very much indeed.
God bless you.
I do understand many people will be deeply disturbed and shocked by what they have heard. It's called freedom of expression. I have challenged this man, but he has a right to speak out. And if we really do care about our freedoms, we will allow this. And we will encourage this sort of debate. It's the same reason I have so many people of the Muslim faith on the show as well, to express their point of view. It's freedom of speech, it's precious, it's wonderful, and it must be protected. Michael Corin.